Hi, so I'm gonna just try to catch everyone up to speed, whether you care or not, I'm gonna do it. Just kidding. Or am I? So I can't remember what I really said before, but I think the last time I catched you guys up was when I was living with Dad and I was being homeschooled. So eventually I got really sick, and my dad and his fiance, now wife, were out of town in Kentucky, and I was really sick and I needed surgery, so I had to call up my mother and I had to get my appendix taken out, but it was actually something like underlying that was an issue that we never dealt with. So yeah. And then she ended up drugging me pretty bad after I got out of surgery, and somewhere along the lines, I guess I moved in with her, and I guess I was forced to do that, and she found a GED program for me. By the way, my mother is extremely abusive. She drugged me, and she's very manipulating, physically and emotionally abusive, and so on. She's also a narcissist. Okay, got that out of the way. So she found this weird program so I can get my GED, which ended up turning into a high school equivalency diploma, because I guess apparently I'm really smart too. So I passed that, I graduated, and eventually things just started getting unbelievably out of control. My mother kept starting fights for no reason, literally. Oh my god. Sorry, had pain. Anyway, so she would start fights out of the blue for no reason. Nobody's talking, nobody's bugging her, and she would just snap and start fighting with anyone she could tell. And it usually ended up being me, and she usually ended up cussing out me and calling me names, saying awful things. I even got recordings of it in case anyone wants to say I'm faking it. I've had multiple people listen to it. And eventually the police started getting involved a few times. And then one time she just snapped and it was too much for me and I just left. And this time, instead of trying to get the police to leave me the fuck alone, I allowed them to find me. And in order for them to find me, I have to be out in the open. They went back like 6 times before they actually stopped and came by and was like, yo, what's going on? And by the way, we live like right next to a highway on a motel, or in a motel at that point. Just my mom and my brother, nobody else. Oh, and I guess David, her boyfriend. I don't know, it's complicated, that's for another time. So yeah, police came and they were like, yo, what's going on? I told them what's going on. They were like, because they know my mother at this point. And she started fights. Actually, I think my father brought me in first and took me back, and then she kept going on, and then I left, and then the police came. I should have explained that first. And she was like faking things and saying she didn't say something, and she was abusing my pet, and she kicked me out. And yeah, I was faking it, apparently. I don't even know how you fake being kicked out, but I somehow managed to do it. So yeah, that happened, and then I couldn't take it, so I left again, and then a police came, and then we went back there, and we talked, tried to figure situations out, and my mom's acting like she's all big and bad and knows everything, and she's like, oh, this happened. Everything that came out of her mouth was a fucking lie. So yeah, that was pissing me off so bad. And my father was there, so my mom started talking shit about him. he wasn't even part of the freaking investigation at all. So yeah. Eventually, the cops got tired and they're like, yo, we ain't starting court out here, shut up. They literally told my mom, to shut up. This isn't court. It's one of the funniest things I have ever heard someone say to her, and she was just like, and then she started again. Like, the fuck? So she, kept trying to blab on, and they were like, yo, this isn't safe. We're gonna move you back in with your father, and I could only grab what I could grab, and my mother kept physically trying not to make me touch anything and started cussing me out and saying, it's mine, it's my house, you can't go in here. It's my stuff, bitch. You know? So she wouldn't let me get much stuff, and the police were like, yo, we'll handle this, you don't need to be in this situation. So yeah, shortly after I went back to my dad's, I was like calling up Danielle, and I'm like, yo, I can't do this, can you come and get me? And she was there not too long after. Like, I think she canceled a date just so she could be there for me, which I find so wholesome. So yeah, we were in an apartment at the time, and I didn't have a lot of stuff, but I wasn't complaining. Had a lot of very bad, a very bad emotional time trying to deal with everything, and I mean, I just lost all of my stuff. At mom's, I didn't even have all of my stuff, so I didn't really have much of anything, and eventually moved to the house where I got more of things, and then eventually, I started to heal somewhere along the way. I haven't taken a shower in 2 weeks, and I haven't eaten a proper meal in 2 weeks, which surprisingly is good for me, because I usually don't even try for months. My boyfriend's trying to help me through it, but he did leave to Florida for a week, which kind of caused it because I have really bad separation anxiety. So yeah. But I'm doing better. I have all of my stuff with me now. I have my pets with me. They're safe. I'm in a safe home. I have access to food, heat, water, a roof, literally everything that I could have imagined for growing up. Before that was way worse. If you think that this is worse, this is bad. Way back then, it was way worse when I was younger. Anyway. November 1st, we plan on moving to a new house. Today is October 21st. So yeah, I've been trying to better myself, like doing my makeup, trying to eat more, trying to take care of myself. Kind of slacking on that. I plan to pick it up next week. And it's a process thing. I did go to the mental hospital at some point, and then I got kicked out of my room, and I had to sleep on the couch for a while. That's not even their fault. That's the owner's fault that happened, because they decided to move back in, even though they didn't pay for shit. They just used us. Anyway, so that happened. And I went to the mental hospital, and I have been doing way better. I mean, I am highly medicated, but I'm doing better regardless. And I've been trying my best. My boyfriend's helping me mentally, physically, socially, financially, and all that jazz. And so is my best friend's mom, which I call mother. Yeah, she just found out a few days ago, and she was like, so surprised by it, and she's like, I mean, she practically adopted me, just without the papers. Like, my whole life, she has been my go-to saver, because I don't know anybody else, and she is willing to do anything, to help out. You know, she's so nice. We're both Virgos, and we're both really nice, and I think it's one of our biggest traits, but also one of our worst traits at the same time. It's complicated. People that know what it is know. If you don't, then just ignore it. So yeah, and she has been helping me, obviously physically and financially. She's trying to help me mentally, but she works a lot of the time, so it's kind of hard, but she is trying to teach me things due to the fact that I'm 18 and the only thing I know how to do is survive. I don't know how to live. I'm slowly starting to learn how to live, because, my whole life it's just been survival against all the bad big people, So yeah, I think that's caught up to speed now. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to share your stories too. This is just an update, by the way. This isn't like the full story. I might do story time, like full on, in another time. I might start a podcast and maybe I can talk more. But God, I keep saying but I can eventually get to the point to where I can finally talk about my full story and not have to worry about space on my phone, because I am kind of tired of recording on my phone. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'm sorry if you had to deal with anything like this. So yeah, bye.